Last time on A Touch of Evil, the Banshee of the Moors.
While exploring the old Spanish shipwreck, the Arcturus, Thomas, and the harbour master were attacked by an ancient enemy. Out of the depths of the briny deep, the Leviathan of old, the Kraken, struck at them with its massive tentacles and gaping maw. With the skill of the harbour master, Thomas defied all the odds and sent the giant creature slithering back to its watery abyss. News of the epic battle quickly spread from Tidewater to Shadowbrook, and the morale of the people was renewed, at least for the moment.
Hello everyone, and welcome to the Solo Gamers Club. Thank you for joining me for our playthrough of Touch of Evil 10-year anniversary edition against the Banshee. I have a correction to make from the previous video. You'll recall when Thomas and the harbor master were battling a barrow shade at the lighthouse, I neglected to employ one of the barrow shade's special abilities, and that's for every fight dice roll of 1 that the hero rolls, they take 1 additional hit on themselves. Well, in that fight, Thomas should have been KO'd. Now, I've already played an additional turn beyond that, so I'm going to have to employ some various measures to try to correct this. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to assign 2 wounds to Thomas. I can't KO him because if I did, he would have gone to the town square and that would have changed the whole dynamics. So I'm going to employ about 5 different corrections for this. We're going to assign the 2 wounds to Thomas, which will be 1 short of him being KO'd. I'm going to add a +1 wound marker to the Banshee for her Will-O-Wisp ability, which would have occurred if he had been KO'd. I'm going to return the 4 investigation tokens that he received for killing the barrow shade, and I'm going to return the barrow shade to the lighthouse. And finally, I'm going to return the harbor master to town. If Thomas would have been KO'd, the harbor master would have returned back to his normal operating area in the town, and he can be acquired by another hero at a cost of 4 investigation as an action. So those will be the corrections I'm going to make. They're quite severe, but that's what needs to be done to get the game back into some type of order. And now with those corrections being completed, we're going to continue with the game. Maria de la Rosa is our first player. She's currently at the inn. We'll begin with Maria's move action, and she has a horse. She'll be adding 1 to the result. She rolls a 3, so that's going to be modified to a 4. So she'll have 4 movement points available to her. And I think we're going to have Maria make her way to the North Dock. There's a couple investigation tokens there, and she might be able to pick up an event card. Maria's going to move 1, 2, 3, and 4 into the North Dock. Maria's going to begin with a collect investigation action. She's going to be using her spirit, so she'll be rolling 5 dice for the test. She has spirit 2, +2 for Delaney, the servant girl, and a +1 for spirit of strength. So we will be rolling 5 dice. Here's the roll. And she has 1 success, so she'll claim 1 investigation token. That moves her up to a total of 11. Now she's going to encounter the space. We're going to be making a D6 roll, and on a 1 or 2, we're going to be drawing a mystery card. Otherwise, it'll be an event card. She rolls a 5, so she's going to be able to get an event card. We'll make the draw. And the event card is Escape Event. play at the end of any showdown fight round in which the hero did no wounds to the villain. Roll a d6. On a roll of 3+, the villain escapes and the showdown immediately ends. Or prevent all wounds a town elder is about to take. If part of a hunting party, they are removed from the fight. All right, we'll add that card to our community pool of cards, and that's going to bring Maria's turn to a close. Thomas is next. He's currently at the shipwreck, and we've assigned him the 2 wounds as we discussed, and we've removed 4 investigation from him. He's down to 12. And I think Thomas is going to head for the town square. We'll move 2 points to get into the icy waters where he can claim one of the investigation tokens. He'll spend an additional 2 to get to the docks. That's 4. And 5 into the town square. Thomas has arrived at the town square and he's going to encounter the space. First step is to draw a village encounter card. The village of Tidewater is slightly different than the town of Shadowbrook in that the locations within the town mandate that you draw a village encounter card. Now this is a deck that will be, unless a card is taken out of the deck, an item or a ally, the deck gets shuffled every time that someone makes a draw, so you could get the same card multiple times. All right, here is the Tidewater Village Encounter. And we get the whispered word, Village Encounter. Tidewater gets very few visitors these days, making the locals suspicious of any outsider walking amongst them. Make an Honor 5+ test and draw an event card for every 5+ rolled. If failed, lose d6 investigation. All right, unfortunately, Thomas only has an honor of 2, so he'll be rolling 2 dice for the test. Here we go. And he has 1 5. So that'll entitle him to make a draw from the event deck. And that whispered word card that we drew will be shuffled back into the Village Encounter deck. Thomas draws the event, a skilled hand event master. Play on any hero, including yourself, once per game round or once per showdown fight round. That hero may re-roll any 1 die they have just rolled, remains in play. Well, I think we are going to play that on Thomas himself. So that card will remain in play until it is possibly removed by the playing of a mystery card. Sounds good. Now another option we have at the town square is we can do some shopping at the Tidewater coastal shops. This deck is similar to that deck in Shadowbrook, and it allows us to cycle through the cards. We can look at them at will and purchase anything that we want for the indicated investigation tokens. Thomas has decided to make 2 purchases. He's going to buy a boatman for 5, which will give him +1 combat, and it will cost him 1 less movement to cross any water path. Places it now to a minimum of 1. He's also buying the harbor log for 4. It's going to give him a +1 to spirit, which will give him now a spirit value of 4. And then whenever you look at the secrets of a town elder, you may discard the harbor log to discard one of those secrets and draw a new one without looking. So I think that's a good purchase for him. And we're going to end Thomas's turn there, I believe. No, I'm going to make 1 more action, and that's going to be a heal action. We're going to spend 3 more investigation and heal 1 of the 2 wounds that Thomas has. Now we'll move on to Carl the soldier. Carl's currently at the bog, and he has his cavalry horse along with 2 investigation tokens. And here's Carl's roll. It'll be +1 for the cavalry horse. He rolls a 3, and that's modified to a 4, so he's got 4 movement points. Carl's going to make his way towards the south dock. 1, 2, and 3 movement points into the south dock. Carl's going to begin with a collect investigation action, and he'll be using his spirit. That has a value of 2. And he has no successes, unfortunately. Carl is going to encounter his space now. And And that means we're going to roll a d6, and if we can roll 3 or greater, we'll get an event. And he did. He rolled a 3. So we'll see what event he finds. He finds the card Teamwork, which we've seen before. Play to get +2 fight dice for each other hero in your space for a single attack, or play to prevent up to 3 hits to any other hero or town elder in your space, including town elders in your hunting party. All right. That's going to complete Carl's turn, and we'll move on now to Maria, the school teacher. She is at the manor. Maria has 8 investigation points and the old map, and she's currently at the manor. We'll see where she is going to move. Here's her roll for movement. And she rolls a 5, so she's got 5 movement points for the turn. And I think Maria is going to spend 1 investigation point, and she's going to take the secret passage from the manor to the monastery. Maria arrives at the monastery through the secret passage. There are no enemies there to confront, so she's going to encounter her space, and we'll draw a monastery card. She draws Secret Ritual, Investigation, Danger. Inspecting the grounds at night, you come across a dark ritual performed by cloaked worshippers. Gathered around a bonfire, the chanting draws you closer. Make a cunning 6+ test and gain 3 investigation for every 6+ rolled. If failed, you are attacked by the Order of the Crimson Hand. Marie has a cunning value of 3. We'll make the roll. And she has failed. She's rolled a 4, a 3, and a 2. That means she's going to be attacked by the Crimson Hand unless we can find some event card to help us out. And we don't have anything to help her out, so she's going to be attacked by the Crimson Hand. And the Order of the Crimson Hand is a minion and man. It reads a secret order. The Crimson Hand have existed for thousands of years. Its members spread throughout all levels of society. They have 2 fight dice, 4 health boxes, and a special order says Order of the Crimson Hand gains +1 fight dice for every wound they have taken. If defeated, gain 5 investigation, so they get more radical as they become wounded. All right, this is going to be the first round of combat. Both sides will be rolling 2 fight dice each. Here's the roll for the first round. Crimson Hand have done 1 wound to Marie. So we've marked one of Anne-Marie's health boxes with a wound marker, and I think Anne-Marie is going to escape. She's going to escape to the North Dock. And that's going to end the combat. Now, as this was a combat as a result of a card, the card is simply removed from play. I chose to escape because we don't want that will-o-wisp ability of the Banshee to kick in if we were to be KO'd. And she had really a very little chance of defeating those Crimson Hands. She only had the combat value of 2. All right, that is going to complete the hero phase, and we'll move on to the mystery phase. Our first actionable step on the mystery phase will be the Advanced Cooperative Mystery Phase roll. Here's the roll. Roll is a 7, and that's Surge of Evil. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. If it is a minion or the villain attacks, draw a random location for placement. All right, we're going to consult our minion chart and make a d6 roll and find out what happened. Roll is a 1, and that's Echo of the Moors. Every hero must immediately make an Honor 5+ test. If passed, gain 2 investigation for every 5+ rolled. If failed, choose and discard 1 event card from hand, or discard 1 ally, hero's choice. The shadow track moves 1 step closer to darkness. All right. All right, we'll begin by making our honor tests. We need honor 5+ tests for each of the heroes. We'll begin with the first player, and that's Maria. Her honor level is currently at a 3, plus 1 for the old map is 4. So she'll be rolling 4 dice for the test, and she'll earn 2 investigation for every 5+ rolled. Here's the roll. And she has no successes, so she's going to have to either discard an ally or an event card, and I think it's going to be an event card. She's going to discard one of our copies of Teamwork. We don't want to give up to Lonnie, the servant girl. She's +2 to Spirit. Next up is Thomas. He has an honor value of 2. And he has 1 success. So that's going to earn him 2 investigation tokens, and that moves him up to a total of 3. Next up is Carl. Carl has a very high honor. He's got a value of 5. He'll be rolling 5 dice for the test. He has 1 success. So Carl will earn 2 investigation. That moves him up to 4 investigation. Finally, we have Marie. She has an honor value of 3, plus 1 for the old map. So she'll roll 4 dice for this test. And she has 2 successes. That's going to earn her a total of 4 investigation, moving her up to 11. And a part of that event moves the shadow track up 1. So it'll be from 19 to 18. We're still in that first stage. And now we're going to make our mystery card draw. And the card's revealed to be Agents of Evil Mystery. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. If a minion or villain attack result is rolled, place it on the board but at a random location. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. We'll make the roll on the Banshee minion chart. The result is a 1, and that's Echo of the Moors again. Once again, we'll have to make our honor 5+ test for each of the heroes. We'll begin with Maria de la Rosa. She has an honor value of a total of 4, so she'll roll 4 dice for the test. And she has no successes. We're going to have to discard another event card. And I think she's going to discard the other Teamwork card, and we'll send that to the discard pile. Next up is Thomas. He has an honor of 2. He has 2 successes, so he's going to earn himself a total of 4 investigation. That's going to bump him up to a total of 7 now. That's pretty good. Next up is Carl. Carl has an honor value of 5. We'll roll 5 dice for Carl. Carl has no successes. Oh, we'll have to discard our last event card, and that's the escape card. That's too bad. And finally, it's Anne-Marie, the school teacher. She has a total honor value of 4. Here's her roll. She rolls no successes. We have no other event cards to discard, and she has no allies that she could discard either, so that's going to end that. But unfortunately, the shadow track is going to move another step down. So we're going to move that shadow track down from 18 down to 17. We're almost going to be crossing into the next stage. That was a pretty brutal turn for the heroes. That's going to complete the mystery phase. All we have left to do is to move the first player marker. It's going to move from Maria to Thomas. Thomas has a total of 7 investigation with 1 wound, and he picked up those new items at the coast board. He's got the boatman ally and the harbor log. We'll begin with Thomas's movement. He's a traveler. He'll gain +2 to move. He rolls a 1, so that's going to be modified to a 3. And that 1 is going to entitle him to an event card draw, which is good. We're currently out of them. He draws the card Militia. Event Militia. Play immediately. Place a militia marker on any named space on the board. Limit 1 militia per space. And the flavor text reads, "Stand fast, men. Watch for anything unnatural." Well, I think we're going to place the militia at the lighthouse. It's going to give any hero that goes there to combat that barrow shade at least an extra health box. The +1 combat won't be effective against that creature, but the wound box will. Thomas has a movement value of 3, and he's still wounded, so I think what we're going to do is he's going to move to the beach. If he can get to the widow's cottage, he can heal a wound for free. So he's going to move 1 space south to the beach. There are no enemies there, so he is going to encounter the space, and once again, as this is a part of the village, we have to draw a village encounter. And the card is revealed to be Founder's Rock, Village Encounter. A massive stone embedded in the sandy beach. The Founder's Rock marks the landing at Tidewater and on the founding of the town in 1626. Roll a d6. All right, we'll make a d6 roll and see what happens. Roll is a 1. It says move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. Not good. That card will be returned to the Village Encounter deck. And that's going to advance the shadow track. We're into the 2nd stage now, and the villain gains a +2 wound marker. We'll place that with the villain. Let's see what their wounds current health capacity of the Banshee is now. That raises the Banshee's health up to 22. The only advantage we have now of this crossing into the next stage is it lowers the cost of a lair card from 12 down to 8. And now Thomas, since he's at the beach, he's going to visit the widow's cottage, and that's going to allow him to heal a wound. So that will completely heal Thomas right now. And I think that is all that he's going to do. We'll move on now to Carl the soldier. Carl and his cavalry horse are currently at the south dock. He has 4 investigation. Carl is +1 for movement. For his cavalry horse, here's his roll. He rolls a 4, and that's going to be modified to a 5, so he's got 5 movement points. I think Carl's going to make his way to the inn. So he's going to move 1, 2, 3, picking up an investigation at the bog, 4, and 5. He moves to the inn. That moves Carl up to a total of 5 investigation. So Carl arrives at the inn, and he's going to attempt to collect investigation. He has a low value spirit and cunning. He only gets a 2 for those. He'll use cunning this time. It's 2 dice. And we'll see if he can pick up that investigation there. Here's his roll. And once again, he has no successes, so he doesn't get the investigation token. All right, he's going to encounter the space. And at the inn, it says before encountering, gain 2 investigation or heal a wound. Well, I think Carl, since he's unwounded, will take the 2 investigation, and that's going to move him up to a total of 7 investigation. And now we're going to draw an in card. And that card is Hello, Stranger. Investigation Demon. Sebastian Skinner joins you at the bar with a smile. You look like you could use a drink. Make a spirit and honor 6+ test, gaining 3 investigation for every 6+ rolled. If failed, immediately discard 1 item or ally or take d6 wounds. All right. Well, Carl has a combined honor and spirit of 7. He's got 5 honor and 2 spirit. So we're going to roll 7 dice. And if we can get any 6s, we're going to gain some investigation. And here's his roll. And he has, believe it or not, 2 6s. So that's going to earn him a total of 6 investigation. That is awesome. That's going to move Carl up to a total of 13 investigation. And that's going to end Carl's turn, and we'll move on now to Anne-Marie, the school teacher. She's currently at the North Dock. Anne Marie has a total of 11 investigation tokens. She's carrying 1 wound, and she has the old map with her, so we'll make a roll for movement and see where she's going. And here's her movement roll. She rolls a 3. Well, we have the option to go to either the monastery or to head across Echo Lake to the South Dock where there's some investigation tokens. I think I'll have her move across the lake. She'll take a rowboat and move to the South Dock. There are no enemies at the South Dock, so Anne Marie is going to collect investigation. She's going to use her spirit ability, and that'll give her a total of 4 dice. Let's see if she can have some success here. And she rolls 1 success, so that'll earn her 1 investigation token, moving her up to a total of 12. I think next she is going to heal, so we're going to spend 3 investigation and heal that wound that she has. That'll move her down to a total of 9 investigation. And now she's going to encounter the space. We're going to roll a d6, and on a 3+, we'll get an event card. Here's the roll. She rolls a 3, so we'll gain an event. That's great. And that event is revealed to be, I think not. Event: cancel an event card as it is played, or an event result on the villain's minion chart, or prevent one source of from moving the shadow track, or cancel a lair card as it is played on a d6 roll of 5+. All right, we'll add that to our pool of cards. And that's going to end Anne Marie's turn. We'll move on to Maria de la Rosa. Maria has 11 investigation. She's carrying 1 wound, and she'll have the horse available to her, which will add 1 to her move roll. She's currently at the North Dock, and we'll make her movement roll. She rolls a 2, and that's modified to a 3 with her horse. I think she's going to head for the monastery and hopefully buy some items there. So I'll have her move 1 space into the monastery. And she's going to begin by encountering the space. We'll draw a monastery card. She draws Book of Life. Item: book, holy. At the start of each of your turns or showdown fight rounds, you may heal 1 wound. Discard to fully heal, except during a fight round. Well, that's a great card. All right, I think Maria is going to do a little shopping at the monastery. The monastery also has its own deck of cards of items that can be purchased for cost in investigation tokens. Maria is going to purchase the Sacred Chalice. Has an 8 investigation point cost. Monastery, item, holy, and ward. It's going to give her a +1 to spirit and a +1 to honor. It also says you may cancel any event or mystery card. After each use, roll a d6. On the roll of a 1 or 2, remove the Sacred Chalice from the game. So this is one mechanism whereby we can get rid of mystery cards that remain in play. As an example, the Growing Strength card that the Banshee has, which is giving her +1 health box. So we can employ this with the risk of losing it on a roll of 1 or 2. I think right now we'll keep it, and that's going to award her the 1 spirit and 1 honor, which is great. Incidentally, that is the 3rd normal item card that Maria is carrying, so she cannot carry any additional item cards. She's limited now just to corner location cards, and that's it. And that's going to bring our hero phase to a close, and we'll move on now to the mystery phase. And we'll begin the phase with our cooperative mystery phase chart roll. Here is the roll. Roll is an 8, and that's murder. Murder! Draw a random location and place 3 investigation there. Move the shadow track 1 step closer to darkness. This counts as though the mystery card, Murder, has been played for villain abilities. All right, we're going to draw a random location. Location is revealed to be the church, and that's in the town of Shadowbrook. So we place 3 investigation at the church, And then the Banshee has a special ability that's going to kick in with that murder result. The card reads, Shrieking in the Night. Anytime the mystery card Murder is played, place an extra 2 investigation at the location, as well as 2 investigation in every adjacent space, and move the shadow track 1 extra step closer to darkness. So that places 2 investigation on the road space to the west of the church, the blacksmith, the town hall, and the doctor's office. Lots of investigation available in the town of Shadowbrook. But that's going to come at a cost, and we are going to have to move the shadow track down 2 steps. So that's going to move it from 16 down to 14. And that is going to bring the mystery phase to a close. We're going to move our first player marker from Thomas to Carl the Soldier. And that completes the round. So the shadow track continues to drop. It's currently at 14, and the heroes are desperately attempting to finish their investigation. Now the cost of lair cards is down to 8 now, as we are in the second stage. But I don't think that the heroes are in any position yet to take on the Banshee in a showdown. We've got to get some more equipment for Anne-Marie the school teacher, Carl the soldier, and really Thomas and Maria to some extent, but we'll see how it goes. And we're ready to begin a new hero turn, and we'll begin with Carl. Carl has a total of 13 investigation along with his cavalry horse. He needs some weapons, I think, and he's going to travel, hopefully, to the monastery and maybe buy something that's going to help him. Carl's at the inn, and he's going to make a roll for movement, +1 for his horse. He rolls a 4, and that's going to be modified to a 5. So he has 5 movement points, and I think he's going to travel to the monastery. So we'll have him move 1, 2, and 3 into the monastery. Now Carl technically has enough investigation to purchase his upgrade. He could do that, but we only have 1 event card, and I would like to build up a collection of event cards if possible before we start upgrading our characters, because sometimes you need to discard event cards, and if you don't have them, in many cases you're taking wounds instead. So we'll probably wait on that. We're going to have Carl encounter the monastery. He draws the card, Attacked. Fight. Roll once on the villain's minion chart and work out the result. The flavor text reads, You were warned to leave this place. Now it's too late. All right, whenever a card says, roll on the minion chart and work out the result, doesn't mean necessarily that it's going to be a minion. It can be anything on the chart. When it says work out the result, it can be either an event or it can be a minion. We'll make the roll on the minion chart. And here's the roll. Roll is a 3, and that's going to be a barrow shade. All right, so he is going to combat the barrow shade. Now, once again, the barrow shade, we have to use spirit instead of combat. And the barrow shade is also going to inflict an additional hit on us for every 1 that we roll on our fight dice. So in this case, Carl is going to be attacking with 2 dice, and the barrow shade will be attacking with 3. And here's the roll for the first round. All right. Carl's done no hits, and the barrow shade has done 1 hit to Carl. We're going to mark him with a wound, and that's the first of his 3 health boxes are used up. I think in this case, Carl is going to escape, and I'm going to have him move to the road space outside of the monastery, and that's going to end his turn. Now, unfortunately, Maria de la Rosa is also in the space with the creature in the monastery, so now she, even out of turn, is going to have to combat that creature. However, this time Maria has a total of 6 spirit. She's got 2 for her base spirit, 2 for Delani, 1 for her sacred chalice, and 1 for her Strength of Spirit card. So she'll be rolling 6 dice for the test, and the Banshee will be rolling 3. And here's the roll. All right, Maria has rolled a 1 and a 5. The Banshee's rolled a 5 and a 6. Her roll of a 1 is going to add an additional point of damage to the Banshee's attack. So right now as it stands, we're going to be taking 3 wounds. The Banshee will be taking 1. And unfortunately, that is going to be enough to KO Maria de la Rosa. When a character is KO'd, we have to roll a d6, and they have to lose that number of either investigation tokens or item cards. And here's the d6 roll. She has to surrender a total of 5 investigation points. That brings her down to 6 investigation. The Barrow Shade will remain in the monastery, and since she was KO'd on the Echo Lake board, she will also stay on the monastery space. Now, when she wakes up, she's going to immediately have to battle that Barrow Shade if it's still there. That was very, very unfortunate, and in addition, the Banshee is going to use its Will-O-Wisp's ability and gain an additional +1 Moonbox. That moves that up to 23 now. That's going to complete Carl's turn, and we'll move on now to Anne-Marie, the school teacher. She's at the South Dock. Anne-Marie has a total of 9 investigation points and the old map. We'll have her roll for move. Here's her movement roll. She rolls a 1, so that's going to entitle her to an event card. The event card is revealed to be Gossip and Rumors event. Play at any time except during a fight to peek at the secrets of one town elder without revealing them. You may choose one of those secrets to discard and draw a new one without looking to replace it. The flavor text reads, "My cousin's brother-in-law heard from his friend." Now, unfortunately, Maria only has 1 movement point. It's going to cost 2 movement points to get to the Forgotten Island, and it would take 3 to get to the North Dock. So her options would be to move to one of the 2 road spaces, or she can remain in the space she's in. However, if she does that, that's a condition known as lingering. She would have to make a d6 roll if she chooses to remain at the South Dock, and on a result of 1, she would be attacked. And the rule reads, lingering, a hero does not have to move during their turn, but may choose to simply remain in the space they are already in. This can be dangerous, however, as staying in one place for too long can attract the unwanted attention of evil. When a hero ends their move in the same space they started their turn in, this is called lingering. The hero must roll a d6. On a roll of 1, you are attacked. Roll once on the villain minion chart. Not that all of the results in the minion chart are actually minions. Sometimes the result is an evil event that is unique to the villain. Rolling for lingering is different than a hero's actual move roll, and this is only made after the hero has rolled for movement and decided to stay in the space. So that is an option for us, but I think rather than risking that, my rolls are usually adverse to what I want. So I think I'm going to play the safe move, and we'll move her out to the road space, and eventually I'll have her move towards the bog and in maybe and pick up some of that investigation. So that's going to end Anne-Marie's turn. We'll move on now to Maria de la Rosa. Maria is currently KO'd at the monastery, so she can take no actions this round. During the mystery phase, she is going to stand up, and if that Barrow Shade is still there, she is going to have to combat that creature out of turn. We'll move on to Thomas the Courier. He's currently at the beach. Thomas is fully healed now. He has 7 investigation, along with the Boatman Harbor log, and the event A Skilled Hand, which is going to allow him to, once per game round, the hero may re-roll 1 die that they have just rolled, so that's pretty good. We'll see where Thomas is going to move to. Thomas has the Traveler ability, which adds +2 to his move. All right, he also has the Boatman, which if he does choose to cross water paths, he can do that at 1 less cost than normal. All right, here is his movement roll. He rolls a 2, and that's modified to a 4 with his Traveler ability. And I think Thomas is going to take a chance, and he's going to go after that barrel shade at the lighthouse. So he's going to move 1, 2, and 3, and he's going to combine with that militia, which will help him with giving him an additional health box. And he's going to combat that creature. We'll see if we can kill it. All right, here is the first round. I've got some glare on the screen there. Here is the first round of combat. Thomas will be rolling a total of 4 dice, his spirit of 3 plus 1 for the harbor log, and the barrel shade will be rolling 3 dice. Now, once again, the barrel shade has that special ability where any ones that Thomas rolls will be hits against himself. All right, here is the roll. All right, Thomas has 1 hit, and he did roll a 1. Now, he has this skilled hand card, and that says once per game round, that hero may re-roll any 1 die they have just rolled. So we're going to tip that card, and I think he's going to re-roll that 1 that he rolled. And we'll see if we can get rid of that. And he rolled a 6, so he has 2 hits. Creature has none, and that's sufficient to kill the barrel shade. Great use of that card for him. That's going to earn him 4 investigation, and we've gotten rid of the barrel shade. Great. That moves Thomas up to a total of 10 investigation, and I think he's going to, next, he's going to encounter the space. We'll draw a lighthouse card. The card is revealed to be Candle of Tomorrow. Investigation, Madness. The beacon atop the lighthouse crackles and goes dark. Whipping winds and wicked whispers grow louder in your ears. As you race to strike a lamp, you can only hope that the flickering flame can keep the darkness at bay until the morning's dawn. Make a Spirit 5+ test and gain 1 investigation for every 3+ rolled. If the test is failed, take 1 hit for every investigation you gained from this roll. It's kind of strange that the card has Spirit 5+ test, and then it says for every 3+ rolled. Oh, I see, it's both. So in other words, in order to pass it, you have to get a 5+, but for every 3+, you'd gain an investigation, and then that's going to determine how many hits you take. I see. That does make sense. All right, Thomas has a spirit value total of 3. Plus 1 for his harbor log makes it 4. Okay, here is the roll. And he rolls a 5. So he's got the 5. Since we've passed the test, he's just going to gain 1 investigation for every 3 or greater. So that'll earn him 3 investigation. That's great. And I think that's going to bring Thomas's turn to a close, and we'll move on now to the mystery phase. Our first actionable step in the mystery phase will be where KO'd heroes will revive. That means that Maria is going to revive in the monastery, and she'll have to immediately battle the barrow shade. Maria is now fully healed following her recovery at the monastery. She'll be rolling a total of 6 dice for 6 spirit, and the barrel shade will be rolling 3 dice. Here's the roll for the first round. All right. Barrel shade has done no damage to her. And she has a total of 3 hits. No ones were rolled. So she kills the barrel shade, earning herself 4 investigation. And that moves Maria up to a total of 10 investigation. Now we're going to make our cooperative mystery phase chart roll. And the roll is a 9. That's revealed to be Unnatural Storm. A powerful supernatural storm has blown over the town. Immediately discard any mystery card in play that is keyword weather. Also, roll once on the villain's minion chart, re-rolling any non-event result, to see what evil the storm has brought. If the villain attacks during the storm, it does so at a random location and is +3 combat. So we're going to consult the minion chart and we have to re-roll any non-event result. Here's the roll. Roll is a 4. That's a minion. To re-roll that. A 1, and that's Echo of the Moors event. Every hero must immediately make an Honor 5+ test. If passed, gain 2 investigation for every 5+ rolled. If failed, choose and discard 1 event card from hand or discard 1 ally. Hero's choice. The shadow track moves 1 step closer to darkness. All right, we'll begin with the first player, and that is Carl the Soldier. He has an honor value of 5, so he'll be rolling 5 dice for the test. And he's looking for 5 or greater. And he's got a total of 3 successes. It's going to earn him a total of 6 investigation. That's going to give him a total of 19 investigation. That is awesome. I think he's going to be hopefully upgrading, getting his upgrade if we have enough event cards left. All right, next up is Anne-Marie, the school teacher. She has a total honor of 4. So she'll be rolling 4 dice for this test. She has a total of 2 successes. That is going to earn her a total of 4 investigation. And that's going to move her up to a total of 13 investigation. Next up is Maria de la Rosa. She currently has an honor value of 3 + 1 for the Sacred Chalice and +1 for the old map. So that's going to give her a total of 5 dice for the test. And here's her roll. She has a total of 2 successes. That's going to earn her 4 investigation, moving her up to 14 investigation. We've got massive amounts of investigation tokens. And finally, we have Thomas the Courier. He only has an honor value of 2. So he'll be rolling 2 dice for this test. Okay, here is his roll. He rolls 1 success. That's great. So that's going to earn him 2 investigation, moving him up to 16. And then as a result of that unnatural storm, we have to move up the shadow track. It's going to move from 14 to 13. We're on the border of moving into the 3rd stage. Now we have to draw our mystery card. And the card's revealed to be, There's No Such Thing. Mystery Hysteria. If Magistrate Croft is still alive, roll a d6 for every gun currently in play, including unsold town items. On a result of 4+, remove it from the game. If he's been killed or has joined the villain, move the shadow track 2 steps closer to darkness. Well, Magistrate Croft is still in the game, so we're going to have to make those rolls for every gun currently in play, including unsold town items. All right. Well, none of the heroes have any guns, so we're going to have to go through the town items deck and pick out all those gun items and see which ones we're going to have to make rolls for. There are a total of 3 gun items in the Shadowbrook town items deck, a musket and 2 pistols. So we're going to make the rolls for each of those in order. On a roll of 4+, it's removed from the game. Okay, here is the roll for the musket. Roll is a 3, so the musket survived. We'll put that back into the town items deck. Next is a pistol. That one is gone, so that's permanently removed from the game. And now we have 1 more pistol we have to roll for. That's a roll of a 4, so both pistols are removed from play for the game. And that's going to complete the mystery phase for this turn. And I think we're going to end our video here. Heroes had a kind of a mixed bag of events that happened. They have plenty of investigation tokens, and I'm expecting that we're going to be using those to get their hero upgrades. We're limited though because of the number of event cards we have. We have to discard an event card along with 10 investigation to gain that upgrade. We are making some progress, but the villain track is slowly moving down towards 0. It's at 13 right now, and we probably are going to have to start thinking about acquiring a lair card pretty soon. I don't know that we're strong enough to take on the Banshee yet, but we'll have to see what happens. Well, thank you so much for joining me at the Solo Gamers Club, and I hope that you're enjoying this playthrough of A Touch of Evil. Please consider subscribing to the channel, and if you do like what we're doing, please give us a thumbs up. And please join me again next time for our next episode of A Touch of Evil 10-year anniversary edition, The Banshee of the Moors. Have a good evening, everyone.